junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Hey, and the show does start now. I'm your host, Johnny Allen, the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I really do. I hope that everybody's surviving the pandemic that we got going on. There's a lot of talk. I wasn't going to talk about this week. I'm going to mostly focus on healthcare providers day. And I am a healthcare provider, and I do work in the healthcare industry. And I've had some people actually text me and ask me how I'm doing, how we cope, and all that. So I'll share a little bit of that with you today. Again, I hope you're doing okay. Hope you're social distancing, because the more that we keep away, I know it's tough, especially when the weather's getting good. But the more we keep away, really, the faster this thing's going to go away. And it is really essential, folks, that we get rid of this thing as fast as possible, because there's lots of things involved that we may or may not have really thought of yet, and mostly economy. The economy scares me more of it tanking in the world economy. When I talk about the economy, not just the United States, around the world. You guys know I follow Sean James up in Canada. He just posted a video yesterday that talks about this very thing and what's going on up there in Canada. It's all over the world. But before I go on with the podcast, I'd like to share a little clip of what I did yesterday when I got home from work. It was just a beautiful day in the Midwest, and I will post the clip right now for you guys to enjoy, and then I'll be back as soon as the clip is over. And here it is. Hey guys, this is Johnny Allen here, and I'm just enjoying a beautiful day. This is Wednesday, and I wanted to share this for tomorrow's podcast. But this is a beautiful day, with everything that's going on and the work that I do. And I'll talk a little bit about that on the podcast tonight, being a health worker and how it is working under the conditions that we're working under right now. I'll share that with you guys, and I'm also going to share the gratitude I'm getting from a lot of people. But I'm just sharing nature. I'm sitting out here today and just enjoying the beauty of nature. There's the birds and everything. And, we just got to kind of be thankful for the things that we have. And we obviously miss the things we don't have. But it puts everything in perspective, doesn't it? It's just sharing this beautiful day. A little pond behind my house, and there's my fire pit. I hope to maybe fire that up maybe this weekend or sometime here in the near future. But anyway, I just wanted to share this. Hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the studio. Pretty neat. It's supposed to be for the bluebirds, but the wrens got in there. I think they're wrens. I'm not a big bird guy. I had to ask my wife that question. They're sparrows, I guess. Sparrows in there. They made occupancy of it, and I didn't have the heart to kick them out. And maybe next year I'll try to figure out a way to get the bluebirds back in there. But they needed a place to crash, so there's their place. So it's kind of neat, though. You see the sparrow rather, with his head hanging out of there. Like I said earlier, man, just enjoy what you got today, man. With this corona nightmare going around, we really got to appreciate it. Moments like this, right? Especially my fellow frontliners out there. We know who we're talking about. Gotta enjoy all this stuff. So I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to my little podcast I do every Thursday.
Uh, there, you just popped out of there. Yeah, it's kind of like doing simple things like this, just, videotaping the bird coming out of the birdhouse. So, you guys take care. There is on the feeder, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the clip. I just shoot these clips obviously with my cell phone. Um, it was a beautiful day yesterday, and what can we say? Those things, a beautiful day, we have to enjoy that, right? With everything that's going on now, we have to enjoy what we can enjoy, and that is like for an example, a beautiful day like it was yesterday. Um, and I did enjoy that. It's very simple. It's if anything, if we get anything out of this tragedy of this virus, this pandemic, is that we're getting in touch with nature again. A lot of us have lost being in touch with nature, or we never were there in the first place. And I think if anything positive, one of the positives coming out of it is we're getting in touch with nature again. I see people out riding their bicycles and things like that. Of course, I hope they're staying far away from each other. I know I ride my bike occasionally, and I'm keeping 6 feet or more, 10, 20 feet away. And like I said, the last couple of weeks, a month ago, I foo-fooed this thing off a little bit. I didn't think it was as serious as what they were bringing on. I was watching China when it first developed over there. But like I said, I work in the healthcare industry, and I see it. And I'm not going to tell you everything because there's some things that are just, well, it's just kind of disturbing. So I won't share everything, but I'll share a little bit on a typical day of being a healthcare worker. Now, I'm not a nurse or a doctor, but I am involved in a supply chain operation, which, if you folks don't know what supply chain is, I'll tell you about it briefly. Basically, we're getting in all the supplies for the hospital to set up pandemic floors, ICU units. We are changing what we call normal patient care floors to intensive care crisis units. Basically, we're like a big MASH unit now. Any other surgery or anything that is routine, that's non-emergency, is on hold. All we are doing right now is strictly concentrating on COVID-19 patients. And a lot of them we test when they come in. If they don't have the symptoms real bad or they're not having respiratory distresses or something like this, we don't admit them. We tell them go home, and quarantine and check back, to keep them obviously, um, up to date on their conditions. What I'm trying to say, so if it worsens, obviously they come back. But and then the other folks we house, right, that are bad, we're treating them. Can't get into the details of it. Don't really want to bore you with the details of it. But basically, the whole hospital has changed, and it's not just ours; it's all of them, all over the place. Changing to pandemic triages, MASH units, to take care of these people. Now, the outbreak, at least here in Indiana, the last I heard, right now, we are approaching the curb. Where I'm at, we're, at least last I heard, that we haven't gained any, we haven't lost any. We're kind of leveling out, which is good as far as patients coming in. Now, me personally, now changing it up, what I'm going through. Now, we've been going through this now for about a month. And our governor has put us on pretty much a lockdown quarantine for another month. And I will share a clip of what Sean James was talking about today. And he's absolutely right about how it's starting to get to people. But getting back to what I do as a healthcare provider, you know, uh, everything from when I first get into the building, I have to, in a nutshell, basically, when you hit the building, you got to throw a mask on. You have to sterilize your hands. Your whole thinking changes. Everything, you can't touch your face. You got to be aware of when you're handling and when you're working throughout the day. I have to pretty much wipe down my whole area before I even sit down with sanitizing cloths, computer desk, computer keyboard, everything around it. So basically, I have to clean everything before I even get on my computer, right? Because I don't know who's been in there, and you just don't. So it's just routine now. We clean everything before we get in there. I clean my chair, everything. Um, Put the mask on. Wear the gloves, and you got to be careful with the gloves. because you have to be careful when you take the gloves off. So all in a nutshell, rather, you have to be on top of your game. And I think I mentioned this last week. And it's a lot of things, a lot of changing of the mind, a lot of changing of the routine. Your thinking is changing. Okay, the things we just take for granted, like I used to go like this. Oh wow, I got an itch or whatever. You can't just do that now. You got an itch, you go, oh, I can't touch my face. Or before I do, I got to run to the restroom, wash my hands real good for like 20 seconds, run hot water lather, not just like a real quick wash, but a good thorough washing, and then, I can do that. Or I can adjust my mask after I've washed my hands. We have the hand sanitizers everywhere, so we're in between. If I'm wearing gloves, I pull them off like this, deposit them in the trash, hand sanitize, okay, if I can't get straight to the restroom. So, like I said, at the end of the day, all these steps we have to take constantly, and you have to think about it. You're constantly thinking. Got to be careful because you're really trying to protect yourself. So that gets to be a little bit draining on the mind, right? And then the back of your mind, you're saying, okay, I'm fighting an invisible enemy, right? A virus. Can't see it, don't know where it is. So it's really tough on the healthcare workers and people that have to be out in it, period. Grocery store people, whatever. Now, to add to that, like say I get done with my day, I wear the mask, I sanitize and all that. Got to sanitize my car, clean my steering wheel, the handles. I have a stick shift. I have to clean the shifter knob. I have to clean basically anything I touch, the brake, lever, the glove box, my badge. I have to clean it, throw it in the glove box. Okay, that being said, the other day I had to stop at the grocery store. I don't let my wife out. She's a little bit older than me, and she's a little bit more at risk than I am, but we're all at risk. I try to protect her as much as I can, so I just demand that she stays home, which she has been. Right? Thankfully, her job, she's still being paid, and she can stay home, which is great. Anyway, I have to run the errands, so I have to go to the store, right? So after I've been to the hospital for 8 hours, going through all the things we got to go through, being very careful, trying to social distance from people I work with. I mean, they screen everybody that comes in, but people could be carrying it for 14 days before they show symptoms. So, we just got to where everybody's pretty much masking up the last week or so. It wasn't always that way because we're just figuring it out as it goes. Because we thought, well, with screen people, they're okay. Now, the only people that are in there are the ones that have the disease and they're in isolation areas, okay, and the essential workers, which I'm one of them. Which basically what I'm saying is the hospital is pretty much a ghost town, which is good. There's not that many people there, so that's kind of nice when there's like nobody in the hallways, and but at the same time it's weird, but it's good for our protection right now, And obviously, don't want it to stay that way because just a lot of things can happen with the economy. We got to get things back to normal, right? So, anyway, there's a lot of anxiety being in the healthcare industry, and I can't speak for anybody else because I'm not doing the grocery store thing or whatever, but I'm sure that they're going through theirs. So anyway, I go to the grocery store, like I was saying, had to run the errands, and it's almost the same thing all over again. Clean my hands, put my mask back on, and I just go after work because I got the mask anyway, might as well just keep it, right? I got it. So I got to go to the grocery store, mask up again now. This is just a new rule they implemented like last week or whatever. So now I got to do it all over again. So then I go and I get my groceries. I wash, sanitize my hands in the car, the whole thing, just like when I get out of the hospital. And then I have to bring the groceries home. I unload the groceries on the curb like I'm a delivery guy because I don't want to hand these groceries straight to my wife because I don't want her to get a virus off of the bags and off the packages. So so what I do is I have a basket out on the front porch. I unload the groceries. I wipe everything down with sterilization cloths. So I wipe everything down, and then I put them in the basket, and then I wipe my hands down, and then again, and then I put them in the house, and then say, go ahead and unload, and then when you get done, wash your hands immediately, okay? So people might think, well, you taking too many precautions. I feel not really, because you got to be real careful because we can't see it. It sticks on plastic for like a couple days, hours. I heard cardboard's 48 hours. I heard that metal, it can stay on metal for like a week. this is a crazy virus. And there's debates on whether it was a bioengineered or something like that. I've debated on with people on that kind of thing, and it is debatable. And I'm not going to get into that because I'm like a really conspiracy show. But my honest opinion, I got to be honest with you guys, I feel like it is sort of bioengineered. Because, and the reason why I say that is we've had a lot of bad viruses in the past, but we never had one like this that lives outside the body for so long, like on metal for that long, cardboard for that long. And the way it spreads so fast, so fast. Now, I could be wrong about that. I think eventually we may find out. We may never find out. But that's not really the issue right now. The issue is it's here. It's everywhere pretty much. And how do we stop it? And it's isolation. We just had a video conference. Actually, we did. One of our nurses from where I work actually was on one of the big, news outlets. And she talked about doctor, actually, not a nurse, doctor. I stand corrected. A doctor was interviewed. They shared it on our website. And they'd ask her what they needed. And she says, I need people to social distance because we're not doing it. Because they get outside and they think, oh, it's good, it's cool, we're outside, it's no big deal, we're not, but they're still gathering in a place that can still spread by a cough, a sneeze, air, So we got to really do this. And the faster we do it, the faster it's going to go away. Now, I talked about what I do, and it doesn't play a role on your psyche. Yeah, it does. I got good friends. I got family that work in healthcare. Some of them aren't doing as good as I am as far as the mental part of it goes. Really, really having a tough time with it. I feel for them, and I'm going to share also, and I already did actually share, or I will share actually at the end of the video. We're getting a lot of support from people, which is great. I love the support. Today we got a free lunch from somebody bought us McAllister's. It was great. And everything was individual lunch boxes. It was all, secure and safe and, no threat of really, very little threat of the virus getting to you. I mean, it can get to you. Just had a family member actually had it, and thank God they spent quite a bit of time in the hospital, but they're okay. They got out and they survived. And it was a close call. I also want to say we just lost John Prine, another musician. We've lost actors and actresses. I can't name all of them. John Prine was a really good singer-songwriter, kind of a country guy. Was a country guy. 73 years old. My sympathies and my condolences to his family, his wife. I've heard another story where, a Purdue basketball player lost both of his folks, one right after the other. And I'm not doing this to get everybody scared or to, be a sad podcast or, a non-positive one. But the realization of it's there. So basically social distancing, I'm stressing that big time. You guys hear that all the time. I'm not the first to say it, obviously. And, some people foo-foo it up. But really, even where I work, I'm trying to tell people, come on, back off a little bit. And believe it or not, there's some people that still won't wear a mask around, and they just feel like, well, I'm just going to take my chances. There's, you can't really do that. So anyway, I'm going to skip, change on my talking points, guys. Thanks again for liking and subscribing and checking me out for 30 minutes every Thursday. I do appreciate it, guys. And again, thank you for all the support. I want to give a big kudos out to everybody that supported me personally and supporting our healthcare workers. First responders is what they're calling them. And particularly healthcare workers, because that's what I do. And I've heard I want to just thank everybody that's done that for me. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. I even want to thank Paul Stanley of KISS, because he doesn't know me personally, even though I've met Paul, but I'm sure he doesn't remember me. But Paul Stanley of KISS actually did that. We're all doing these little house concerts, musicians. And I'll continue to do my little thing. And I love what he did about earlier this week. He talked about, he first of all saluted all us healthcare workers and people that are out there now and have to work. And I really do appreciate that from somebody I looked up to and I still look up to since I was a kid. I was a huge KISS fan, and I particularly favored Paul Stanley. He was my favorite out of KISS. It still is. And nothing against Gene Ace or Paul, or being a Peter. But Paul was the one I always did think, yeah, Paul's he's kick ass. So I really did enjoy that. So Paul, if you have a chance to catch this, who knows? Now that you're at home, maybe you will. Thanks again, my friend, for really giving us kudos, healthcare workers, because it is tough. We don't know if we're going to get the virus or not. Our chances are pretty high, sort of. I don't know exact percentage. I really don't want to know, but we're doing what we have to do. I mean, I'd be really lying if I said, well, I'm just doing it out of the love of taking care of people. I am, but I need a paycheck. I'll be honest, and I kind of got stuck in it. But now that I'm in it, I'm gonna do the best I can. Like I said, I'm a man of integrity and everything. I'm gonna do what I can. I usually drink coffee on this podcast, but I'm not drinking coffee today, guys. It's hot. It's actually, well, it's not hot. It's warmer, and I don't know. I'm drinking a Coke, which I normally don't drink Coke. I'm drinking a nice Coca-Cola. So if you got something to drink, hey, cheers to staying alive, being healthy, staying positive, and all that good stuff. It's just cheers to being alive right now, right? Thanks again for joining in. A lot of kudos and I thank all the people. Like I said again, that's just totally awesome. I'll post some at the end of the video of an example of all the kindness and support that we get, and I do appreciate that. Now, let's see, talking points. I said thanks to the folks, thanks to Paul Stanley. There are many others out there, Sean James too. So many people, I can't name them all. Talked about getting the free lunch. We've gotten some free food. Little things like that mean a lot, mean a lot to us. Okay. The next thing is, okay, wow. We think about this is tough, and I wasn't even going to talk about this time, but I just got to talk about it a little bit more. And I'll eventually get away from it. Hopefully this thing will end and I won't talk about it again, right? But I want to focus on staying positive during this, guys. I talked about this a lot, but it's true. We got to stay positive, A 95-year-old World War II veteran, he made it through it by staying positive. Your mind over matter. The mind is a powerful thing, and you'd be surprised what you can do if you stay positive. And I don't know if you guys, I'd like to talk about Dr. Lipton, okay? And there, you guys are probably thinking, Dr. Lipton, was he a tea guy or something? I think a Lipton is tea. Has a very positive message about being positive in general, and not only just with the coronavirus or pandemic, but just in life in general. How your whole mindset, and I will share the videos. I'll share Sean's and Dr. Lipton's on my podcast for you guys to check out, because it's very interesting and it's very enlightening on how you can change your life if you're down in the dumps, if you're having a lot of negativity, and especially with the pandemic going on. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, depression, all that stuff I talked about before. Dr. Lipton explains how you can counteract that a little bit, which is great. And, the thing is, too, about with us going through the pandemic right now. I talked about people riding their bikes, going out for walks, getting outside more. I think that part of it's great. If there's anything positive that's coming out, is like more people are enjoying the more simpler things in life. And you know what? We may have to enjoy more of the simpler. We may be forced to enjoy the simpler things in life. We may be forced to do some things that we've never done before, like maybe plant a bigger garden, maybe start learning how to can, start storing up, start trying to grow as much vegetables as you can, no matter where you're at, even if you got an apartment. Grow some stuff. Being more frugal with our money, being more frugal with everything, because face it, the economy is going to hurt. It's already hurting. It's going to hurt really bad. It's going to affect all of us, guys. I hate to say that. Sean James emphasized that yesterday, and I'll share the video. And he's right. And that's something I've been thinking about for a while now. It's like I'm almost more worried, like I said earlier last week, I'm almost more worried about the economy than I am the virus, because face it, if people don't have money, things get bad. The government can only bail us out for so long. They're going to run out of money. So it's real important to social distance and everybody do what they're telling us to do. I can't tell you how important that is, guys. Young people, I know the weather's getting nice. It's like I posted earlier. You want to get out. You want to start doing things. You're starting to get cabin fever. When they said the first 2 weeks is shutting down, yeah, we can live with that, right? Just like Sean pointed out, too. He's right about that. But when it comes to be about a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe the whole damn summer, maybe the whole damn year, people are going to be going, losing their mind. And I may be one of those, right? But we can't do that. And if we don't want to do that, then we need to be real strict right now so it will die down, no pun intended, and go away. So I can't emphasize how much we got to do that. But people are enjoying the more simpler things out of life, and I think they should. More family time with that you can't, intimate family, right? The ones that you got to coexist with. I'm missing the family that I can't see, right? That I have to drive to. You know, my folks, especially my brother, my good friends. You know, my bands, like I talked about before. I'm really missing that aspect of being able to see them. Um, and unfortunately, not all of them have FaceTime. A couple of them do, or Skype, or something like that. Um, but anyway, if you're at home with your kids or whatever, that's the special time to spend with them and getting close together. My wife and I, you know, the first couple of weeks we were kind of like maybe getting on each other's nerves a little bit, not too bad, but a little bit. But now this third week we were really bonded tight because I think the realization is kicking in. I think especially with her that I work in the healthcare industry and how, because like I said, here's the thing with working in the healthcare industry. She used to work in the healthcare industry too. She's been out of it for several years. But like I told her, we actually worked in the same place. Like I told her, it is not the same place it was when you worked there. It's not the same place. It's not the same environment. It's totally changed. And it's totally changed for us that are still there. So not only has the world changed, it's totally changed in the hospital, in the healthcare settings, right? Totally changed. And we know about the virus, obviously, it being bad and can do bad things, right? We know that. But what I'm talking about, the other change is like everybody's wearing masks. There's not that many people there. The work's changed, shifted, just everything. So that whole thing will play on your psyche. Because you're used to things being the same way. I mean, I am. I'm used to things being the same way for 40 years. And then all of a sudden, a matter of like 3 weeks, it's changed. You're used to doing something for 40 years, and then all of a sudden, or even longer than that. I'm just talking about the work history I have, 40 plus years. And all of a sudden, in 3 weeks, it's changed. 3 weeks, this has totally changed. I understand veterans now. I always had a heart for veterans because I come from a military family. A lot of my family has been in the military. I did not serve, but everybody else around me has, including my son. So I got an idea of what they went through, but I don't have an idea. But I don't have that. But I didn't live through it. But I can kind of understand now what they went through, especially the ones that had to see battle and had to see war. This is bad enough. Like I told my wife there, this is bad enough. But I couldn't imagine going to war and seeing your buddies die in front of you and things exploding and just really bad stuff happening. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to get into gory details, but I know why they come home with the post-traumatic stress syndrome. I understand that thoroughly now. So if any of the vets that are listening, I understand that now. And I only have a taste of what you guys. I'm facing an invisible enemy that I can't see, and I'm not seeing anything physically happen. I'm not seeing people falling and get shot and get wounded and things blowing up in front of me like you guys and gals did in these battles and wars and conflicts. I'm sorry you had to go through that. So I can't even imagine that aspect of it. That wrenches it up like 100 times, right? I'm already going through enough anxiety the way it is. Like I said, that would be wrenching it up 100 times. So anyway, I thoroughly understand and feel for, that whole scenario situation that our veterans had to face, and some of them still are. So anyway, I know it's kind of a somber. It's going to get better, guys. It's going to get better. Check out Dr. Lipton. I'll post that. That'll help you get through this. Remember, if we all behave ourselves, we're going to get through this quicker. That's all I got to say. We got to do that. It's so imperative, man. If we want to knock this virus, we want to get back to normal. We can't jump the gun. Americans want things instant, gratitude, instant, right now, right now, right now. The whole world, but really Americans, we do. We want everything now, now, now. I talked about that before. We want it now. We wanted it yesterday. We want it now. This is not going to allow now. This is going to allow you got to stay away for a length of time, and then things can start getting kind of back to normal, but they're not going to be normal for a while. I'm just telling you that. So we got to adjust. We have to adjust. I'm adjusting, so that's all I got today. Like I said, happy April 9th. Yesterday was beautiful in Indiana. Today, not so much. Cooled off. A little cloudy, a little different. But, it is what it is. We're still kicking. We're still alive. comment on anything below that I'm talking about today. Like I said, kudos to everybody that's giving me support and my fellow healthcare providers, and of course everybody else that has to be out in it. But I'm particularly talking about the healthcare workers right now because I'm one of them. I appreciate the people that are concerned on the Facebook side. Some of them didn't even realize I work in the healthcare industry, and I had to kind of explain what I do a little bit. They, oh my gosh, and I do appreciate all that. And hey, kudos to Paul Stanley. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that have talked. I know there is, but he was the one that I just saw on his Facebook page. So another drink. You guys just be safe and everything, and we're gonna talk about some more uplifting things. I promise coming up. This one I just wanted to really explain what I do in a day, because people were kind of concerned, and share a little bit of what Sean's talking about, Dr. Lipton's talking about. And basically just kind of tap on this a little bit more and emphasize the social distancing thing. That's really what I'm talking about today. You guys have a great week. I ran over a little bit, but that's okay. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you, God willing, right next week on the Johnny Young podcast. Oh, by the way, happy Easter too coming up Sunday. Let's don't forget Easter, right? Just because this is all going on, we forgot St. Patty's Day probably a little bit. Of course, didn't even think about April Fools. But really, let's pay attention to Easter. Even if you're not quote unquote a religious person, now might be the time to kind of read history, kind of get into what happened when it comes to Easter and the whole story about Jesus Christ. I'm not a preacher. I don't pretend to be. I'm a sinner like anybody else. I try to be. I am a man of faith, though. I try to behave as best as I can. I'm flawed like everybody. But I really do have value in the Creator up there, okay? And I think it's going to take all of us to get together and pray. And if you don't understand or you don't care about Easter or care about the story, I suggest now that you're sitting home, hey, take some time out and really reflect on it and dig into it a little bit. This is the last thing I say, guys. It's never too late to learn things and to keep an open mind. And I tried to absorb a lot of things. I try to look at different things that's coming in life at me. Sit down and soak it up and analyze it. Maybe not try to figure out, but just listen to it. It's kind of neat. We can always learn. There's room to learn every day. I'm almost, I'm in my 50s. I'm still learning a lot. Everything from technology to history to the Bible to everything. And if you look at the Bible, it's part of history, really. But in this time, I really do feel like we need to put some trust in the Creator. That's it. And this is the last thing, really. You got people can do what they want to do out there. It's a free world, right? And they can voice their opinions. I have no problem with that and stuff like that. But I think sometimes all I gotta say is, and I don't care what the subject is, but I mean, like I said earlier, there's bigger fish to fry out there, and why keep kicking a dead horse? Some people, that's all I gotta say, just kicking a dead horse, kicking dead horses, kicking dead horses. Now's not the time to kick dead horses. Now's the time to pull together and really figure this situation out. Because I'm telling you what, folks, if we don't get together and really work on this together, it's going to be, you think you're bored now, it's going to get really, you may not be so bored later, and things are going to get tight. So let's don't let it get that way, all right? Hey, I care for all you guys. I care for all my viewers. I don't care where you stand politically or whatever. I really don't care about any of that stuff. I care about people. I care about everybody, right? My heart's out to everybody out there. I don't care who you are. My heart's out there to you guys. This is a real deal. I work in the healthcare industry. I'm passionate about what I'm saying today. I'm running over. I know I was going to quit like 3 minutes ago, and I'm still talking. But really, I am very passionate about this. And let's all work together. Seriously, work together. Bless you guys, and I will see you next week. The Lord willing.